Hey everyone, welcome to anyone joining me live or on the replay. This teaching is going to be about what if overthinking was your superpower. I speak to so many people that are obviously trying to get rid of their thoughts, and as a meditation teacher, yes, that's kind of the aim, but the reason that I even got here is because I was watching myself overthink, and I was judging myself and wishing I could stop, because it looked like everyone else around me wasn't overthinking. And it gave me obviously severe anxiety. I thought, why am I so strange? Why have I got all these voices? Why am I being so sympathetic, got so much empathy for other people? Why am I worrying what they're thinking? Why am I worrying about everyone else? And that was what all the thoughts were. But what I want to invite you today is to say, the people, hi to everyone joining, the people that I used to look at and be jealous of were the people that were just being themselves, that weren't worrying about what everyone else was thinking. Even if they were a complete arsehole, I was like, at least they can just be themselves. Like, I used to feel like self-loathing about myself, that I couldn't even be an arsehole. That kind of games that you think, oh, I just want to be authentic, I just want to be able to do what I want to do, even like the people that I don't want to be like, but at least they're being themselves for them. But what I realised was that it's because they're not actually able to think about other people. They're not actually trying to consider someone else's feelings. They're not able to think a lot. And that's when I started realising that overthinking was actually my superpower. So I want to invite anyone that currently overthinks but thinks it's a negative to actually spin it on its head. Because what does overthinking do? It makes us judge ourselves, makes us compare ourselves, and makes us want to change. So then when I sat with it and I thought, okay, well, it's my superpower, at least I can think, at least I can hold a lot of space for people, at least I can imagine how someone else is feeling, at least I do worry about making sure that I kind of say the right thing, at least I'm conscious of my actions, at least I can reflect on the past, at least I can hold a lot of opinions at once, at least I can look at things from a different perspective and get myself out of a situation if it was from a past memory and go, oh, maybe it wasn't like that. You know, I thought at least. And then what it allowed me to do was say, okay, well, I can see the positives now, but now I want to see what can I actually do with this, because it is too much. I do actually want to quieten down my mind. I do. So although it's my superpower, I know that I can overthink. Tick. There you go. Anyone that can overthink, you can overthink. You already know this. So you just sit with it and go, okay, well done me. I know I can overthink. I know I can hold a lot of space. I know that. But now I want to move into self-mastery, where I'm controlling that. I'm mastering that. I'm the one that's choosing when to lay my attention on which thought. So then that would take you into a meditation path. I don't know any other method that you would genuinely reprogram the ability to choose where to navigate your awareness. But then you look at the overthinking as a complete positive, because it told you were amazing. It was a gift. You're super conscious. And it told you where to go, which next chapter of your life to go to. And that would be a meditation path, where you're then choosing where to lay your focus. Once you sit in that meditation space and you quieten down the mind by observing that, yeah, I can overthink. Great. I'm now choosing to master that. Then you step into your superpower even more, because what you realise is your awareness can be in many places at once. Overthinking is proof of being super conscious. Overthinking means you are naturally inclined to be able to expand your mind. How's that landing for you? If you're overthinking and think it's a bad thing, it's like, switch that around. You're able to place your awareness in many places. And what does that lend its hand to on a path of enlightenment? That you are multidimensional. That you are an expression of the oneness. That of course you can hold space for a lot of things at once. You are that. You are that. We're all one. It's not metaphors. Then you look at your overthinking and you're like, Of course I can sympathise with how that person felt, and that, and me, and and I feel guilty, and I'm thinking about problems in the world. But when you come into your now, when you really sit in your now, and you're in that space, what happens next? That next part. You're able to say to yourself, okay, I am able to hold space with the whole world because I know I'm part of it. We can all empathise with any other person. We could take on the emotions of any situation when we're overthinkers, yeah. We can literally do that. We're very, very good at doing that, of going over and over and over and over and over and over again of things. But what that allows you to do when you're on that meditation path, when you come into the oneness, is then you start choosing. So you say, okay, is it beneficial for me to overthink about negative stuff? And you learn from that. Is it beneficial to think about positive stuff? Learn from it. But what you're actually opening yourself up to is the ability to be proud that you can hold space with a lot of things at once. As you move through your spiritual awakening, as you move on the path of enlightenment, you're holding the space and the awareness with all that is. All that is. All that is. When you're in the now and you're able to choose, that's the difference. Because you're aware that all that is always there. There's everything that's ever happened is happening right now. Whether you're thinking about your childhood, tomorrow, next week, right now, the grass, the sky, the birds, the trees, all the things in the world, it's all happening now. So we could think about it all the time and you'd never stop thinking because it's always happening and you are a part of it. So it's not the part of thinking that you're trying to stop. It's being able to master that and say, what's the best place that I can put my awareness right now? What's the best thought that I could have right now to make all that is really enjoyable? So you have to come into that space of going, okay, overthinking is a super freaking power. Super freaking power, because once you start channeling into that now moment, once you start realizing that you're a part of everything, then your energy is able to be directed to wherever you place your focus. So instead of it being all scattered around and you're hopping all over the place, instead you focused it now and you're able to say, okay, in this moment I choose to think about helping that person that's suffering. And you pull the awareness in. You say, in this moment I'm choosing the thought to help someone that's suffering right now. And guess what you feel? Great. It's all of the path of realising that overthinking means that you're super conscious. And anyone that currently worries about that and it's like, oh, I'm weird, I wish I could stop, people always say I think too much. It's like, do you know what? When I let that go, when I let that piece of the judgment go, of worrying that I could think a lot, everything changed. So I was like, look, I can think a lot. I can. You might not, and you're calling it strange, but I can think a lot. So that's actually my superpower. Because if you, instead of saying to someone, oh, you're an overthinker, I looked at them and I was like, can you think more? Like, from love. I was like, can you think more? So for anyone that does overthink, this is the time to stand up and be like, okay, the thoughts are guiding me to my superpower that I am super conscious. And we can't hide that. You can't hide it anymore. You don't have to. But then the thoughts are actually asking you to start to navigate and channel them. And that's what meditation does. You are able to focus them. And then third part is obviously you being the master of them and then able to direct them to wherever you want them to go. So is overthinking negative at all? No. Has it been distorted, downplayed to make you think that thoughts are bad? Yeah. But if you're thinking bad thoughts, then thoughts are bad. If you're thinking bad thoughts, then thoughts are bad. If you're thinking great, positive, high vibration, enlightenment thoughts, are thoughts bad? Let me ask you, are they? Is a good thought a bad thought? Is a bad thought bad thinking? Yeah. And does it mean that thinking is bad? No. Not if you're thinking good things. Not if you're thinking good things. So I want to invite you all today, for people that are worrying about, oh, I can't stop thinking, I'm an overthinker. What if you said, I'm so good at thinking. I'm amazing at thinking. Wow. I wish everyone else could think as good as me. Just to move that you're not worrying about what you are. And you come into this space where you're like, I'm freaking perfect right now. How about that? Because it's only that point that you're comparing yourself to other people. I used to compare myself to people that couldn't think. And now I'm like, how did I not say, dude, catch up. Catch up. Holding space for all those emotions of the childhood, of every single thing that's ever happened to you, constantly replaying in your head, constant. And we're saying it's a negative, and it's like, do you know what? I can hold a lot of space, but I moved out of that because I was like, I want to now focus this. I want to now evolve from this. I want to now channel this energy of my superpower of overthinking. I want to channel it into this one moment. To say, in this moment of all the thoughts I could possibly have in the world, I'm going to focus and have one beautiful one right now. And I do. And that's what meditation does. It shows you, come now. The thoughts are waiting for you. As soon as you come out of it, they're waiting. It's okay. You're not going to lose them. You're not going to lose them. But you want to lose them. So you're like, come into the moment. Let me just have a sec where I say, my thinking is great. I'm a genius. Yeah, tell yourself, I'm a genius. I can think all day. Wow, my superpower is that I can think. And what does thinking mean? Consciousness. It's not a negative to be able to think. It's not a negative. But while we're saying that I want to stop thinking, but you're not doing anything about it, it's going to feel very heavy. Very, very heavy. Very heavy. And that was years for me. Anxiety, depression. Can't stop the weight of the thoughts, of course. But what are they trying to show you? That there is some way of channeling them. They're not negative. Your thoughts are saying, well, meditation is there. If you're so worried about having all the thoughts, go and do some meditation. You know, it's literally there, waiting for you, waiting for all people that are overthinking. But it's not to get rid of them, especially. You get rid of them, but you actually focus on the higher thoughts, the highest perspective that you could possibly have. That's what meditation does. You don't go, not thinking. You're at one with everything. You're at total one bliss state. So yeah, you're not thinking, but then when you activate in your consciousness, you're choosing the best possible thought. But the best possible thought is the truest thought. Because once you're in bliss, you're like, why was I thinking anything bad, even about thinking? So I really want this message today to help someone that's worrying about their thoughts. All I ask you to do today, all I invite you to do is to say, what if I thought that thoughts were a good thing? What if you thought that? Would that make your life easier? Thinking that thoughts aren't all bad. But if you've only got bad thoughts, then the invitation is to give yourself a good one. And that first good thought is to say that thoughts aren't bad. It's not the concept of thought that is bad. It's the thought that you're having, that you're not mastering yet, that you can master through meditation. It's being delivered right there. But then the point is that you say, if someone is suffering with thinking too much, then they are asking for a path. You are asking to actually do something about it. And if you're not doing something about it, then yeah, you're going to be feeling that it's all bad. But the point is that if there wasn't meditation in the world, if there wasn't a path out of low thoughts, if there wasn't that, then yes, we could say this life is just terrible. There's nothing to do about it. But there is. There is. It rewires your whole brain so that you never have a bad thought. You never have a bad thought. Obviously, it goes much deeper than that in an energetic sense and a vibration, obviously a manifesting way. But the point is that if you think thinking is bad, then you're going to have bad thoughts. So my new gift today to ask you, think that thinking is great. Be a good thinker. Say, I'm so good at thinking, and you know what? Because I'm good at thinking, I'm going to think something good. How about that? How about that? And all the thoughts are going, but you're a bad person, but you're not worthy, but this, but you've never done that, or you haven't got time to that. And you go, I'm good at thinking, aren't I? I can think all the bad ones. I'm so good at thinking bad ones. All bad thoughts, I'm so good at it. I'm going to choose a good one. Oh, I love that poem. Someone just wrote a beautiful poem on Insta. Beautiful. They sang, don't waste your hate, rather gather and create. Be of service, be a sensible person, use your words and don't be nervous. You can do this, you've got purpose, find your medicine and use it. There's a beautiful, beautiful thought. And I love that, because you know what that's showing us? What is the point of using the infinite power of thought for only negative ones? Let's just think how infinite your negative thoughts can be, meaning that thought is infinite. Look at the world, everything's infinite. You can create whatever you want. Everyone's created tons and tons through history, through time. If you're going to use your thoughts for anything, how could it be that your one perception of thought is that you're bad, that it's a negative, and it's not a superpower? You can think your way out of anything. So like, that's the difference of new vibration meditation. It's like, you're not coming to my classes and going, close your eyes and stop thinking. I'm like, you're amazing. Wow, let's retrain you to think that thinking's good, because then you're going to give yourself good thoughts. And then meditation becomes so easy. So easy. Because you're not trying to think that things are negative anymore. You're not attaching to that they're negative. Oh, I've got to get rid of this heavy thought I have. You're like, do you know what? I'm grateful to be here. I'm going to insert some good thoughts. Like, I can sit in meditation all day and it's just blissful. Oh. Right now, there's nothing to think about. Obviously, the deeper you go on the path, there's nothing to think about. But when you're still saying that thinking is bad and that overthinking is not a super freaking power, that's what I want to help you do. And be like, girl, for the people that aren't thinking, the people that are judging me that I'm super conscious, it's like, I don't mean that, I mean like back in the day, and me not realising it was my superpower, the second I realised it was, my goodness, I was flooded with compassion for myself. I was flooded with compassion for them. My whole energy field. What if I just said, right now I'm perfect, and I owned that I'm really deep thinker? How about it, world? How about it, community? Don't come to me with your small talk. Doesn't interest me. Have no time for it. Don't even know what to say back, because I'm literally analysing what you're saying, where it's come from. Is that from your childhood? What emotions? What about the other person? Because I can't hear what you're actually saying, because it's not what you're saying. You're telling a whole field of oneness in what you're saying. So yes, I can't have small talk if you're only coming from one angle, because I'm aware that it's not one angle. Yes, I'm sorry. But in that moment when I just owned it, the reason obviously you manifest the reality you want is because then no one will bring me their small stuff, because they're aware that I want them to go further with it. They're aware that if they're complaining about something in their life, they know that they want to take that further if they're talking to me about it, because I'm not going to sit there and go, oh yeah, that sounds really tough, what a bitch. I'm like, wow, where are we going to go from this? You know, this is our time to be alive. What do you think about it? Have you looked at every single possible angle of this? And it's beautiful, because then you get to realise what you are as a human. You're here to literally be able to hold space with all of the dimensions at once, because you're a multidimensional being. You're literally aware that you are able to hold space with the entire cosmos once you come into the now moment and say, I'm part of this, but I'm actually consciously evolving. But there's so much to say. But today's main thing, imagine the world didn't have the idea that overthinking was negative. Would there actually be me going to therapy? I can't stop thinking, I feel like crap. I think I'm this, that and the other. All the labels, just because I could think a lot. And now I'm like, I don't have any labels. You might label me as super overthinker. I label myself super conscious. Got it. Who's winning in that? I want humanity to win, to be like, if we eradicated the idea of overthinking tomorrow, and everyone that was overthinking, feeling like shit today, actually said, I'm super conscious, guess what world you live in? One where all the people that can't think a lot have to rise up to the level. They can rise up. And that's us empowering ourselves so that they can empower themselves. That's how you change the world, by being your full self today, being very proud of it. And then you're not saying, I'll meet you down there at your level, I'll bring myself down. You're saying, rise up. Rise up with me as I rise in myself, as I rise in holding myself strong, as I rise in my perfection, my divinity, and say, this is who I am and I'm proud of it. And I've always been that way. Always been an overthinker. And then you forgive all your childhood. You forgive everything by being proud of what you are right now. And then guess what that allows everyone else to do? Follow that path of saying you're perfect now. So for the overthinkers, activate. Let's activate. Yeah? You're not overthinker. You're super conscious divine being, my friend. You haven't got a negative flaw. You haven't got something wrong with you. You're super conscious. You're ready to channel that energy. You're ready to channel that energy into your meditation practice, into your manifesting, into changing reality, into accessing your multidimensional aspect, into your ascension, into contacting your galactic team. That's what you're ready to do. You can hold a lot of thoughts at once, and that's because you are here for the ascension. You are here to activate humanity, to rise up and reclaim and say, of course I can think a lot. I can do a hell of a lot more as well. But of course I can think a lot. Who can't? And then you realise that you actually want to start helping people use their consciousness, because what's been done to us, we've been conditioned to think that using your consciousness is a negative, and that's the whole thing of this great awakening, of being like, the people that are super conscious and able to hold space for a lot, rise up. It's not about having a degree, it's about being like, I'm so switched on. Yeah, obviously you're channeling, you're tuned into source. But the whole point is that the things that are good about being a human have been played down to be negative, and then we've been judged for it and called go have an assessment for mental health because you can't stop thinking. It's like, nah, bruv, switching it around now. If you're not able to think about 30 things at once, you need to go to mental health. Yeah, we'd switch it on them. Yeah, if a doctor's saying to you, you know, you got like, I don't know, if they're like, if you're feeling labelled to have like some mental health issues, just be like, what if I said that I don't and they do, because they can't see what I see? Get it? So I hope that's landed for you all today. And now I'm going to go for a walk to the graveyard, and I'm going to sense all the people that were there before. I'm going to be looking into their names, their energy. I'm going to be feeling the grass and the trees. I'm going to be wondering where their bodies are into the ground. I'm going to be feeling the sun, the sky. I'm going to be playing with my niece. I'm going to be breathing. I'm going to be loving my life with all those thoughts at once. I'm really comfortable with it, and not saying I can't stop thinking, because guess what? All those thoughts are true, and all those thoughts are blooming beautiful. I love you so much. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, 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 ciao. I don't know how to end that. I do. I love you. And remember, meditation cures it all.